Hi. My name is Genevieve, and I am a marketing manager at Brandstack. And today we're going to be taking you on a very interesting topic. Last week we looked at minding the gap, understanding that there is sometimes a space between what you want to achieve and what you actually achieve, and making you see what that gap look like. Today we're going to take that chaos and create rhythm, right? So most of us want to stay consistent. We want to be able to post every single time. We want to, whenever we have an idea, want to be able to execute that idea the way we have it in our mind, clearly and simply. And also, most importantly, build a community and a brand that can actually stand the test of time, which is why you need to get into your creative rhythm. And today we're going to be focusing not on strict calendars, because a lot of people will think that it's about posting 5 times in a day, 2 times in a day, or posting 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's not about those calendars. There's a lot of things that come into play. And we're not going to be focusing on that this week. I'm also not going to be talking about the product, shaming you for your productivity by telling you, okay, let's focus on 50 days ad, 20 days ad. No. We're not looking at that. We're not looking at a 30-day challenge or whatever. We're just looking at the proper rhythm, because when you're so creative, you are very prone to getting burnt out, and you don't want to be burnt out, so that you can be able to, express yourself the way you want to be expressed. And so what are we going to be focusing on instead? We're going to be focusing on our creative rhythm, our aligned energy, and creating systems that actually work with you and not against you. And that is basically what I like to call bridging the gap between what is in your head and what you actually get done. Now, let's go into this. Why does it matter to bridge the gap, right? Your online presence is not about posting, it's about positioning, right? It's never about posting 50 contents in a day. It's not about posting 20 contents in a day. It's not really about that. It's about positioning. How do you position yourself in a very saturated market that is the content space? How do you make it clear to someone that, oh, this is exactly what I do, this is exactly what I am about, this is exactly what my brand is about, and they should, resonate with that? Because when your message is not clear, right, you attract the wrong type of people. You struggle to grow a very loyal community. You feel like you're always explaining yourself. There are a lot of videos, a lot of creators that forever and ever, they will continue to be explaining why they post things like the way they post things, or they always feel like they need to always explain the reason why they're posting the things that they're posting, because there's no clear positioning of what they themselves are when it comes to the online space. And then also you get to this point where you feel the need to blend in, even when you have something very unique to offer. As well, you see someone that is very talented, extremely talented, but because they don't know how else to showcase their talent, they go into skit making. There's nothing wrong with going into skit making. It's just that if you have something very tangible to do or to say, right, skit making might be the only option that you're seeing, because it really does well. People do it and they do very well. But there are other ways you can actually stand out, be your unique self, without actually needing to follow the the public, right? Now, if your message is sometimes too much and is not clear enough, and that is why people cannot fully understand you and what you're trying to do, right? There are a lot of creators that they say that I'm a lifestyle creator, I'm a beauty creator, I'm a fashionista creator. All of this is what I am, right? And there's a new term called I am the niche. In as much as that is such a very powerful and strong ideology, can also be translated into so many ways, and that can confuse you and your audience and the people that actually watch you and follow you, right? Because it is just so many information, so many messages that are not really clear enough, and they do not align with exactly what you yourself, your brand is about. So to talk about this, I've broken this down, bridging the gap, into 3 sections, right? Our first section is the 3 C's, right? These 3 C's include clarity, confidence, and consistency. Now let's look at clarity. Clarity determines how easily people connect with you. How easy can you make your content be that people feel the need to, like, they feel already connected to you? Let me give an example. I'm a creator. I take for example a creator, right? She wants to be putting out makeup content for makeup girlies, right? And she doesn't know how to do anything apart from natural makeup. So she decides to make the entirety of her content be natural makeup for girls, for light-skinned girls or dark-skinned girls, right? That is her content, right? Now you will say, oh, this is like one content idea. Like, we need more content ideas. So some people will come up with, okay, natural makeup for light-skinned girls. Another one would be fashion styling for light-skinned girls. Mind you, this person's strength is what? Makeup, natural makeup. So instead of her to diversify, because most of the time people think it's about diversifying your content, doing all the content so that you can be nicheless, so that you can be the niche, so that you can be the niche. And that is actually a misconception. Being a niche is not that. It's very, very different from that. So what this creator would do instead is, instead of creating different content that, reflects certain angles of her, she prioritizes on one content that is strong enough and puts all her force into it. Now, like I said, she's a creator that wants to be creating makeup content for light-skinned girls. So what she would just basically go ahead and do is make light-skin natural makeup for light-skinned girl everyday look. She can do natural makeup for date nights, natural makeup for volleyball practice, natural makeup for going to work, corporate girly edition, natural makeup. You see, all of this in our mission now, they're all natural makeup, right? But there are other additional things that have been added to it that gives it more, that makes it more relatable, right? So if I am like a light-skinned girl, and I want to know kind of makeup I can do to go to work, I know that if I see her content, I can resonate with it. Right? If I'm a light-skinned girl and I feel like I just don't know, I don't really want to do too much when it comes to my date nights, because my boyfriend wants to be taking me out every single day. So I already know the kind of makeup I can do. Her video will come to help me. Right? I am a girl. I like to go for tennis or volleyball practice. And sometimes I want to have makeup, even though I might love to do makeup every single day, like heavy ass makeup. But when it comes to volleyball, I want to have a little bit of a very light natural look. Her content is going to be good for me. Do you see how 3 different types of audiences, 3 different types of people can resonate with her content because she has found a niche? Now, when you come to her page, you will know for a fact that this is a fine girl that knows how to do a natural makeup look. And every single time you go to her page, she has something very new that is going to attract different types of people, but are coming for the exact same thing that she already has, right? Because most of the times we are very passionate. As a creator, you're going to be very passionate. And being passionate will make you to feel like you need to do a lot of things, and that will affect your creativity, also affect your consistency. And being all there, doing everything, making sure that you are extending, you want to be nicheless, because that's the whole thing many creators think, that you want to be nicheless, right? Will actually make you to be very loud, and it will make your message to be very scattered. And there will not be any definition of exactly what is it that your content is about. Yeah, I said that clarity doesn't mean being niche in a boring way, right? It doesn't mean that since she wants to really clarify her message as she's a natural light skin, she's a girl that likes to do makeup for natural makeup as a light skin girl, doesn't mean that it's boring, right? Because now she will now integrate different angles to it, different angles to it that will make it even more interesting, and also make other people to be more more aligned with her content. Another example is a fashionista, right? This is a fashionista creator that wants to be creating fashionista content for chubby girls, for girls that are a little bit thick, right? So she can create different kind of content and say fashion fit for date night, fashion fit for volleyball practice, fashion fit for arts gallery scene, fashion fit per color. She can do fashion fit per inspiration, inspired by people, inspired by moving characters, inspired by cartoon characters, right? Different angles. But you see, when you come to that page, you will know that this person does fashion content for what? Thick girls, right? You will be able to tell from just looking at her page, and that is what clarity brings, right? Because it allows people to know what you stand for and come back because of it, right? They will continue to come back because of that particular thing. And that's what clarity does. Now, how do you actually reflect on your content being clear? Is one, I've asked this question so many times, which is, what do you want to be known for, right? Because your online platform is your digital reputation, right? It is your digital footprint, right? So when people actually come and find you, or they find you anywhere, what do you want them to always say about you, right? I can mention some influencers, and if I tell you, for example, I say, okay, Eriguwa, right? You already know that Eriguwa is already known for creating amazing content, and also, apart from giving you good content, it actually gives you inspiration, gives you advices, it makes certain social issues much more clearer. It breaks them down for you. This is what Eriguwa is known for, right? So whenever you say Eriguwa's content, you are not, oh yeah, this is exactly what he's about to do. I am sad. I want to watch it. Or no, I'm not interested in watching this at the moment. Let me scroll, right? So that is one of the main things you need to, reflect on. What do you want to be known for? What are the things that you want to be known for? Because if you do not define it, people are going to define it for you, right? You don't make it clear, they will define, they say, oh, this person is not serious. You're unserious creator. Or, oh, it's like she likes to do this. This is why people that have viral content, they just tend to continue trying to recreate that viral moment, and they always fail, right? They always fail to create that viral moment. And we're going to go to a point where we'll get to understand that virality is not important at all for you. But still reflecting on how to make your content clear, another question you can ask yourself is, what conversations do you want to lead, right? Take for example the fashion girly that actually creates content for thick girls, right? Seeing her content, you already know that what she does is create fashion content for thick girls, right? That is her content. How is the conversation is going to lead? So that in her conversation, what she'll be getting is, okay, oh, can you give me explanation for when I want to break up with my boyfriend? Can you give me an inspiration for, a black tie team party? Can you give me, these are the questions that they'll be asking in the comment section, because a lot of creators always say, oh, just comment on my page, comment on my post, comment, share, and same. But if your content is not actually sparking the conversation, nobody's actually going to leave a reasonable comment. The comments you're going to be getting is going to be comments out of pity, like, oh, well done, girl, great job, you don't try, I've seen you, we see you, those kind of content, which is not what you want. Because what we encourage is see content more like, you're posting the content now, but makeup routine. You want to see content like, oh, can you show me a routine for, maybe you want to break up with your boyfriend? Can you show me a routine based on Teletubbies? Can you give me a routine based on this? Can you give me a routine for oily skin girlies? Can you give me a routine for combination skin girlies, right? These are the conversation that's going to be created once you have, reflected on your clarity. The next question is, are your post, bios, and visuals saying the same thing? And this is the problem with creators that think that consistency is the key. Like, you have to just be posting every single day. And last week, we talked about the effect of posting every single day, because that is a symptom of you getting stuck in the creative gap. You feeling like you need to show up every single day, because if you don't show up every single day, you're going to lose followers, you're going to lose interest. That's the lie. That's a lie from the pit of hell. And that's the truth, right? It's not about posting 10 content every day. It's not about posting 20 content, because if somebody comes to your page and they see your last 6 posts and they have absolutely no idea what you do, you have failed. Do you understand? If somebody comes to your page and they see your last 6 posts and they cannot say for clarity that, oh, this is what this person is about, you have failed. And I see people that they actually pin their most viral content. And as a brand manager, I see that a lot of time, because when I tell creators, okay, you want to be an influencer, you want me to pay influencer money, right? Okay, show me your analytics. They show me the most viral content, and sometimes like 2 million. I'm like, oh my god, can you show me the link of that video? And it's something completely, it's not even like it's unrelated to what they do, but it is not like, it's not like their best of their best work. It's like a coincidence. Maybe, for example, at that moment and at that time, right, At that moment and at that time, they know that thing was actually trending. And so because they hopped on that trend, that made that video or that content actually go viral, more viral than it's supposed to, right? So your pinned content should never be your most viral content. If your most viral content is relative to what you are doing, great for you. Now, so it's not like as if I'm just saying these things, right? You can go and look at your favorite creators, Elizonam, Tobe, Frances Siedo, all these Nigerian big celebrities, even American celebrities. Most times they do not even pin that post, and if they do pin that post, it's either that post they're trying to promote something very, very important, or it is because it tells like a whole story, the whole story of who they are, their brand, their background, everything. It gives you more insight into who they are as a person, right? And that is exactly what you should do. You will see that the most viral content, the most viewed content, the most engaged content is never pinned. Most of the time, it's never pinned. And if it ever is pinned, it is very, very relative to what that person is doing. It's that this person is a commercial person and they just pin their most viral commercial or their most recent commercial or their best done commercial or the commercial that they are so proud of, right? Or there is a note with. And that is exactly how you reflect on your clarity. Now, moving on, a pro tip for you to know is that if a brand or a follower land on your page, right, what would they say that your content is about? What would they expect from you from next week? Take, for example, this creator that actually creates a makeup for natural skin girlies, right? You already know that she's going to post something else, like another makeup tutorial for a particular thing that is very relative to her own life or related to people's life or based on people's angst. You can already make a guess, right? And best believe she's going to make a content around that, right? And so that your conversation will not be, very scattered. It's going to be very, very straightforward, clear, precise, because I need to come to your point and understand that, okay, this is what this person is doing. This is it, period, nothing else. Or maybe it's something else, but it's like this is the main thing that they're focused on. The next one is C2, which is consistency, right? If you want to build recognition, you have to do that. You can't build recognition without repetition, right? You can't do it without repetition. You need to repeat the same things over and over and over again, but do it in a very recognizable manner that it doesn't really look like you are doing too much. Now, all your favorite creators, right? There's something that you will know that this is this person that shot this video, or this person is doing this content. You will know they have their own style. They have their own recognizable style. Let's say, for example, Hawa. We know whenever it comes to Hawa, she's always creating content that, when she's talking to you, you're like, this is definitely Hawa. Or for example, Salem, right? Salem, we know that apart from the sound of his voice, the visual of his content, we are seeing his face there. Right now, he has not started talking about his wife, which is now like a very recognizable content we are seeing a lot, right? So we see his face and then we see the black and white. Then he changed his content from black and white into colored. And he had a whole multiple contents that made us start getting comfortable with seeing Salem, with color, right? That is what happens when you are trying to build a brand without actually repeating the same thing because of you're thinking that, oh, this is already working, let me continue on this. You are building it, you're evolving with your content because your content should be evolving with you and you should be evolving with your content at the exact same pace, right? So all your creators, Erigugwar, Salem, Awa, right? When you see their content, whenever they show up, you'll be able to tell that this is Erigugwar's content, this is Kegan Tech's content, this is Tobe's content, this is Army, the creator content, this is definitely Frances that shot this content, this is Chris Steph content. You will be able to tell for sure. Now, if clarity is about what you want to be known for, consistency is how people actually come to know you, right? What people come to see because they are seeing it so many times and they're seeing you there doing so many times and they're like, oh yeah, I get it. Like the girl that's doing fashion content, the creator that's doing fashion content for Tigger. I'm so sorry. I'm sniffing a lot. The girl that's creating fashion content for Tig girls, right? Every time you see her content, you know that, oh, she's the creator that does content for thick girls. Even though I've seen her different kind of contents where she did one for one viral concept like that, but you know for a fact that this is her content, this is the kind of person that this is what she creates, this is the kind of thing that she does. Now, how do you reflect on this consistency? Is your tone, is it steady, right? Are you calm one week, chaotic the next? Are you inspirational one day, sarcastic the next day? You can't be dimensional. Doesn't mean that you must be calm throughout the entirety of your video. No, you can't be multidimensional, but people connect faster when they can anticipate your voice. A very good example of anticipating your voice is Ima the creator, right? Miss Ima is someone that anytime you see her content, you know that she is running late, right? She's always, guys, get ready me to go to a wedding in 5 minutes. Guys, my mom is waiting for me and I need to get ready in 5 minutes. Like, we already know that she's chaotic. But doesn't mean that the entirety of her content styling is chaos, is messy. Like, she's always like the words, like crazy no. It's just chaotic in the sense of what she's saying, in the sense of how she's putting, that anxiety on you. She has her own tone, and then she has perfected that tone, and that is the steady tone. Even though still, you can say that Miss Imar is very chaotic, you can still in that same breath say that Imar is very calm. She's also very, very classy, and she's also there are other characteristics that doesn't necessarily mean chaotic, that even most of the time are opposite of chaos, right? And that is what they call a steady tone, because we already know that Ima is a chaotic person, but she has a personality around her. And for my own personality, she has decided that, okay, you know what? Chaos is my tone, and this is how I'm going to project myself, and I'm going to follow suit like that, right? The same with Ereguwa, right? We already know that Ereguwa is always playful, right? Everything he does, everything he says is playful. But even when he's serious, he's still playful. He drops those serious quotes in a playful way. Even Apoko Doctor, the same thing. They come out playful. But doesn't mean that since they're playful, does not also mean that they're also stupid. They don't know what they're saying. They're always joking. They're jokers. They're comedians. No. They're still dropping, very important information to you. They still share you very, very important tips, advices that they still give you, but all of this in a very playful manner. So what is it to remember is that in marketing, right, people need to see something 5 times, right, before it sticks. And this is what people always say all the time. And this also applies in content creation as well, right? You might feel like you're repeating yourself for your audience, but sometimes that's the first time your audience is seeing you. That's the second time they've seen you ever, right? I remember there's a particular content creator that I started following for a while back, and at that time she was really posting about waxing, right? And I was like, oh my god, nobody has actually posted about waxing yourself. Like, I'm always so scared about it. I'm never gonna wax. Like, that content, I was obsessed with it, but it didn't convert me till today. But I find it very interesting the way she really carried herself. I mean, the day I saw, oh my god, so somebody like this actually exists. But when I went to her page, that was almost the 10th time she has posted something about wasking, right? And I think the only reason why I resonated with that wasking video at the time was because she was wasking to actually make a photo shoot for her brand. And at that time, I was trying to make a photo shoot for a brand, and I was like, oh my god, how am I going to do all of this still look good? So I was looking for ideas around that. My algorithm kept showing me things around, how you can do it as a woman, can be all of this as a woman, and still be a pretty girl at the same time, right? So I kept seeing all of this content, and somehow her content came to me. I'm like, oh my god, wasking just to go for her content. So I stayed through the entirety of the video because I wanted to see what's going to happen at the end. And then after that, I didn't follow her. I did follow her at that time, but I kept seeing more videos of her wasking, and then I saw more about demoplanning and all of that. And then, and this is how your audience kind of find you, or the public kind of find you, right? So I said here that repetition builds recognition, and recognition builds trust, and trust builds momentum. I need to look at this point, write it down somewhere, and continue to look at it all the time, because repetition builds recognition builds trust, and trust builds momentum. So the fact that she has already done that wax video so many times, and the way she approaches the wax video is not really necessarily teaching you how to wax, but the self-care that is there in waxing, right? The point that waxing for her is self-care, the way for her to actually show herself that she actually loves herself, that is the repetition that she was doing, and that was the recognition that the Brigding got from her content. And that recognition, because I've seen that content now multiple times, me now, the audience, I've seen that content multiple times. I'm not able to trust her decision on how exactly she manages her very, very busy schedule, right? I trust her idea, I trust her methods, right? And that trust now use my method to even use her as an example, even here today. And if somebody's talking about waxing, whatever, I know that I can go to her page and find out her video, and definitely can tell you that, yes, even if it's one video you're saying, that video is enough to give you everything you need to know about waxing, right? With a little bit of her personality for sure, right? So the next one is C3, which is confidence, right? Confidence is the muscle that carries your message forward, even when no one is clapping, right? Because, I keep talking about what you should do and what you should not do. And sometimes at the point, you'll be like, this is what genuinely sending me all of these things. Like, what exactly should I not do? Because I don't know what to do at this point. Because it's like everything I want to do, she said don't do it, right? So this point here is just saying that still do it, right? Once you have come up with everything you want to come up with, because now it's something new, something different, right? It's going to be more difficult to put it out there. Even though now you have the clarity, even though now you know exactly what you want to be recognized for, you know how you're going to continue bringing it up and putting it out there, right? You need to have that confidence to actually put it out there, right? I remember there's this creator, Damarni. Damarni is a makeup creator that actually posts avatar content. Now, I've never ever when I do a avatar stuff on my face, right? I don't like plenty colors, right? I might, but never will I ever do that. But you see, whenever I see Damarni's content, I will stop and I will watch because it is just fascinating. And I remember one of his videos, he was talking about how he wanted to post his content the first time he ever did the avatar content and wanted to post it. That he posted it before avatar even became like a whole trend, and he has consistently been posting avatar content all this while. So even when nobody was clapping for him, he continued posting it. But doesn't mean that if your content is not doing well, now you are seeing signs that show you that your content is not doing well, you continue posting. No, I did not say that. But it's what I'm trying to say in essence is that before you start choosing perfection, before you actually get perfect, you have to know that you're not going to be perfect. Like your first content might not be your best work, but it should be your best work at the time that you have created it. This is the major thing, right? At that time that you have created that content, that should be your best content at that moment. It should never be that there's a content at the back that's better than the one you're about to post. Especially when you're just starting to gain and find your voice, right? Your content at the back should not be better than the content you're posting today, which is why you have to make sure that it's not really about perfection, but it's about just putting it out there first, but know having it at the back of your mind. Because, because choosing visibility before perfection is choosing visibility, before perfection. It's saying, I'm not finished, but I am worth listening to, right? I'm not finished, but it's good enough for them to listen to. And then one of the things you have to reflect on, the few things you have to reflect on are: one, are you waiting for permission or perfection before you start showing fully, right? Because the best creators do not wait until they're ready. They choose to be visible while they are still figuring it out. And that's what makes their audience connect with them even more, right? And I want to give you an example of this particular way many creators can integrate this into their own content. Now, there's some creators that don't yet know. As you're watching this video, you might be like, oh, I don't even know what I'm going to do. I don't even know the direction I want to take. I don't even know the kind of creator that I want to be. All the things you are saying sounds simple, but when I look at it deep down, I'm really asking myself this question. I have no idea. Nothing is actually popping up in my head, and that's still understandable, right? So that is a whole content pillar. You figuring out yourself as a creator. The creator called Simi when she started her content. That's what she kept saying, right? She kept saying, I don't know the kind of content, I don't know the kind of creator I wanted to be. At first, I started my creation journey just for my business, but now I got tired. My business is stressing me, and that is a content creator. That is the content pillar. That is a clarity. There's a content that has clarity, and it's something that is very easy to be repeated, right, and recognizable, right. So anytime you see Simi, you know that Simi is trying to she's exploring her content, her creator journey. It could be that in the beginning she was not confused, but because she did not, she wanted to give herself an open slate, right? She wanted to like tell herself that, you know what, I could be anything I want to be. I could be a fashion content. I could be a lifestyle content. I have no idea what kind of creator I want to be. So I'm figuring it out. This is my content style. And that is exactly what she did. And that's what she's doing. She's figuring it out. And the more you keep seeing her content, the more you're like, oh yes, she's figuring it out. And it's just enjoyable to follow that journey. Right. And that's definitely is a way you can go. Second one is showing up like someone worth listening to, right? So this is another that's why I said that it's not about just because I said that now you can post anything, not post anything just because of I said post anything, right? But show up because you yourself, if you see a creator that actually posts something like this, you will stop and watch. You will stop and be like, okay, what's really going on here? And you'll be like, oh, what's she really saying? Like, can you really explain? Like, you will stop and watch, because that's why you should post with that confidence. Don't just post because of, I said go and post, though. Post because, you want someone to actually stop and watch your content. It needs to be worth listening to. And you need to do that through presence. It's not about your studio. It's not about anything. I can show you some of the videos I did in this same space that I'm in, right? And I've actually upgraded my shooting style so much, even though I'm still using the exact same style, exact same place I'm using. I think a creator that reflected it a lot was Safina, your social media bestie, right? When she showed her story of how, and I think that's her content actually inspired me to actually start my own content journey, because when I saw her, I felt like, oh, you are using the same phone, the same lighting setup, everything, the same thing, but you just change a few things and then you found your own voice and you just maintain that voice, and that is where you are where you are right now. And I found that so inspiring. And I feel like you guys should also, look at her and see how she did it. Now, pro tip is that people don't want perfect, they want real, right? And real doesn't mean messy. It means honest, right? Because you're trying to figure it out as a creator doesn't mean that you now say things like, hey guys, please, not that I have seen my own struggle, please don't let thoughts to like hold me down, please like and follow, whatever, to see more. Let me say it now so that it's been said. I've said it. Never ever in your life make a video and tell people to like, follow, comment, share, whatever. Never do that. As a creator, especially when you're a creator that actually wants to be the brand from it, never make a video complaining about how the algorithm is making you bad. Never make a video telling people to like, comment, and share. That you should never do. Because if you're already making a content, like for example, like the fashion girly that is creating content for teen girls, right? If you're creating content that people actually are caring about and it's reflected to you and it is your own personality, your own personal style, whatever, right? People are going to like it, they will comment on it, they will share it, and they will save it. Because there is somebody out there that is thick just like you and have no idea how to dress. There is somebody out there, I promise you, that want to go for a black tie event and is inspired by your content. Even if they don't want to use your content, even if they don't want to use the same clothes you wore, somebody out there is definitely inspired by it. They have gotten an idea from it. And they may like it. They might scroll. But at the end of the day, they will still remember your face. They will remember your face. And when you continue and you maintain that consistency, they will convert. For sure. 100% of the time. 100% of the time it happens. Right? So you want to be honest. You don't want to be messy. You don't want to be saying things like, hey, see now, I've already done my content. Do you see how terrible it is? See, don't worry, when I get my phone or whatever. Or you now start threatening the audiences. See, you follow. Do you follow them because they threaten you? The creator that you follow, they don't even know you're following them. They probably you're just one number in their thousands of followers. Right? And you follow them not because they threaten you, but because they inspired you. They are teaching you something, they're showing you something that they're even reflecting a life that you want for yourself, or reflecting a life that you have had for yourself. They're giving you something, they're giving you value for your time, for your data. You cannot trust somebody on their own data. They already watch your video, if you're not trusting them. Don't trust people online. Right? Because it's not about you being out there, being raw and everything. Because people always think it's being raw, like let me just go crazy. Let us go crazy. It's about that, right? You have to be able to own your own voice, and you have to be magnetic. That is how you do it. So that they will be like, oh yes, I want to join you. Oh yes, I feel this. Oh yes, this is nice. Okay, I see what you're doing. Okay, let me see. Let me watch you. Let me see. That's what you want. That's the kind of things you want to attract. Not, I'm following you because I'm scared. Maybe you come and kill me. Maybe you come to my No, you don't want to do that. The next one is the next section. Now move to the next section 2, right? Which is finding your content style. Finding your content style. This is a very broad topic, and this particular session has inspired our next week topic. It's going to inspire it a lot. So because of it inspires our next week topic, that's why I did not really go in depth to like drag it so much. But we're going to talk about a few things so that you can get the idea, you can get the whole idea of it, right? People connect to patterns, right? Like I already said about the makeup girly, right? She does natural makeup for light-skinned girls for different things. There's a pattern there, right? Which is doing makeup content all the time, right? And she does her makeup content, and in that makeup content that she does, it's a pattern, or it's the pattern that she can do. It's her own creative pattern, and many of you don't have a creative pattern, and that is one of the issues that you face when you now say, "Oh, my problem is consistency. My problem is that brands don't have any idea of what I do. My problem is that brands want to work with me, but they don't even know how to work with me because there's no pattern, right?" So people connect best with patterns. When you know that, oh yes, you're always going to be there to show somebody, you give me a content of how to dress as a same boy, or how to dress as a masculine man, how to wear the best cologne, you are a cologne lover, and you have built your own identity on cologne, everything cologne for men, for women, for, there's a creator that does a creation that does her content series where he comes up with different colognes and tells you what each cologne personality gives, right? And when he does that, he dresses up, right? He talks about cologne and still does fashion in the same breath, right? Because a lot of people will not say things like, oh, okay, I'm not really a makeup girl, or I have no idea when it comes to doing makeup. I don't even know how to make makeup. But you see me, I know how to draw, and I also know how to, dress well. Like I can draw and I can dress well. There's not really any similarities between those two things, but you can create a pattern of content where you draw like a feeling, you draw a theme, maybe you draw a red hat, and then you make you dress up as the red hat, not like you're dressing up with red hat costume, but like inspired by what you have drawn. Right? Your content can start with you drawing it and then now showing the outfit that you made. It could be there's different ways of you actually providing this, but you see there's a pattern they can consistently continue to do. There's some people that they are very good, they are beauty influencers, they want to be beauty influencers, they want to be fashion influencers, and also want to do their lifestyle at the same time. So they're like, okay, should I talk about makeup content? Should I do fashion content? Should I do this? When you can merge everything together, that does not mean that in the same breath that you are doing makeup, you will not go and do fashion, you will not do lifestyle. It doesn't have to be in the same breath. You can divide it, right? And just get ready with me to, not like get ready with me saying that, because last time I did get ready with me, I mentioned it a lot. I love you guys, but like, so what am I supposed to do now? Get ready me is no longer, and I'm not saying it, but you can do a get ready with me to go to a particular event, because there's a lifestyle in it, right? You're going to, for example, let's say you're going to a wedding, right? So there's a get ready with me makeup edition of you doing your makeup, right? There's a get ready with me where you are actually wearing the outfit, and there's another You are the event, right? And that is already for content. That is already a recognizable pattern. And since you're always going out to all these places and you are always dressing fashionably, you're always doing your makeup well, and you're always going to very places where people are actually talking about, you can maintain this pattern all through. But the problem that some creators have is that they want to be able to do all of these things, but they don't have any link. They're not linking it in any way. So today is Get Ready With Me because I want to show you my new clothes, shopping haul, and I do content on shopping haul. Right, the next one will not be Get Ready With Me as I try out a new lip gloss that I got. And another one will not be Get Ready With Me to go, or a vlog of me at a particular hangout I went for. Right, there is no connection, and there's no way that I'm going to see those content and be like, oh wow, okay, I think I know this person. I think I want to work with this person because there is no connection whatsoever. It is disconnecting, right? And there is no pattern. The only pattern I see there is that you are trying to be something, right? You're not yet there, but you're trying. So we need to connect the pattern, right? Because it's not, and because those things are that way where it's like different things is about like putting throwing your egg into different basket, right? Or throwing your seed into a fertile land and just waiting and hoping that it's going to germinate, right? And they say, oh yeah, maybe it's going to germinate, maybe it's not going to germinate. All right, and yeah, it might go viral. Some of them will go viral, others will not go viral. And maybe, for example, maybe the hangout you went for is the one that went viral, and most of the times always that's what happens. One of the 5 or 4 will go viral, and that one that goes viral, right? That individual will now try to start milking it, right? They will not try to milk it, like they will not try to create more content that has the same chaos as that previous one, another hangout that has another chaos. And soon they will realize that does not work. That 100% does not work, right? So you don't need to go viral every time. You need to recognize it. You need people to recognize your brand every single time. And that happens when you lean into your style, right? That's not just what is trending, but what feels natural, what feels true, what feels sustainable to you, right? Because remember our last class, what we did, Minding Your Gap, the creative gap, we said you have to know your talents, right? And you have to get a skill that can help you amplify that talent. And then you now hone that skill and talent to become a craft, right? That's why you need to get content that actually, get a style that actually feels natural, feels very true, and very sustainable to you, right? Your content style is your signature. It's the way people see you, the way people will know you, right? It's the feeling that people will get when they land on your page. Like the girl that creates natural content, people will just know that this girl, she's just a very tough girl. She just only creates, natural content for people, right? In her tone of the way she talks, or maybe she does like voiceovers, or even the choice of music that she uses over her video, she'd already tell you what's her signature. You should already know that, oh, this person, she's a soft girl. Or this person, she's a crazy person. Like, for example, Stacia. Right, you see Stacia video when she started, Stacia and Mavella when they started, but they really own the space of teaching you how to be an it girl, how to be a dark skin it girl, right? And when they were saying it, Mavella stood, even though Stacia and Mavella were doing the exact same thing, both building the businesses at the same time, both teaching you how to be a makeup influencer, both teaching you how to become a wig influencer in Nigeria and abroad, both having almost very, very similar content, but you will see that signature is very, very different. Mavella will come, she will speak, in different tonations, different accents. Like she will have an American accent, a British accent, and then add a Yoruba inside, right? And that is her own style. Stacia will come up with her own calm, bad bitch energy, right? She's just like telling you, you know what, if you like, listen to me, like don't listen to me, that's your own business, but please not come for me because I don't have your energy, right? That is their signature. And that's even though they are doing very, very, very similar things, right? Because your content style is your signature and you have to find your signature. That's the feeling when people get when they come to your page. When I go to Mavella page, I feel inspired. I feel, oh yes, this girl, she has, even though now her content style has kind of changed and evolved, which is going to happen as a creator, it will evolve. But it is not going to evolve in such a way that it becomes disconnected. You don't actually understand what this person is doing again. You're like, is this Mavella? Is this not Mavella? You will know that it's Mavella. because she has a signature. She has a signature. That is that. Her signature. What's her signature? That switch of accents. So no matter what she does, even though she goes back from time to time, create content, makeup tutorials for us, sometimes she doesn't. Sometimes she just focus on blogs. Sometimes she just rants. But you see that signature of switching her accent, you would always know that this person is talking is Mavela, and that is exactly what you should aim for, because people will connect to that pattern. Right. Now, what counts as a content style? Like I said, this content styling is a very, very broad topic, and I didn't want it to take over the entirety of reading your bridge topic today. So, but let's look at what counts as a content style. What counts as a content style is not just your colors, not just your fonts, not just the video, the camera you use. No, there's a lot of things that happens that matters. Is how you actually show up visually, verbally, format-wise, right? Do you use, clear-cut videos? Do you use short clips from different things? Do you use do you take from a POV point of view? Like, what are the visual elements there? Are your edits like very crazy, mad ass edits, like plenty things are happening, all those crazy cuts are happening? Or are you just like clean edits, nothing, and then very small, tiny, caption there, like all of those things? Verbally, are you soft spoken? Are you bold? Are you humorous? Now, the verbal element, what you guys think is about how you say what you are saying. It's not about how you say what you are saying, no, that is verbally. Everything that actually that speaks to you, that you hear, right? Everything you hear, visually is everything that you see, right? Everything that you are hearing, everything that you are feeling, right? Like everything that comes to you, like what you are hearing is your verbal, right? I don't say everything you're feeling, because I think feeling too also reflected on what you see, right? Everything you hear comes from the way you speak what you say, how you say what you say, how you write your captions, how the kind of audios you use, everything that comes to what they are hearing and what they can interact, and how you're interacting with people is your visual, those are your content style, and you have to determine what those content styles are, right? So once we know now, let's say for example, this girl that is a fashion girly that creates content for TIC girls, there are two ways she can go about this. There are two different ways, different content styles that she can employ. The first style that she can employ is, very fast-paced, very, chic core way, where she's like really giving you fast-paced content. She just comes in like Wisdom Kaye, or she comes in, with like all this mad edits, crazy edits, all of that. She can do it like that, and it's still going to maintain. That will be her voice. Anytime you see a content creator that does fashion content for teen girls, you just know that, yeah, it's this girl. This is this creator. There's another way she can go about it. She can go about it by creating very minimal edits. She just maybe have like a brass door image over her head, and she just come and she just do her thing slow, small. And like you're like, you all this very calm music, like Ben Bensi songs, Lana Del Rey songs, very calm song, nothing too crazy. Right? She can also do it another way where she does her content, with brass those things, but with Christian music only, with Christian themes and themes of salvation. That is a content style, right? All of this tells you, how exactly it shows you how this person like show up. It shows you their style, their formats, right? So style is about consistency. It's without being rigid, without being this is how it's supposed to be forever. Because now I say that in as well as she's trying to create content for, light-skinned girls, makeup content for light-skinned girls, for different things, it's not rigid. So it's not every day. Like, how do you do your brows? I say makeup. No, you could do that, right? You could do that, but it's not really breaking it into bits like that, but more of expanding it. To understand that this person you're talking to is a human being and have a life, and this is their life. This is the kind of life that they live. Which is also the kind of life that you live, right? Because it has to still reflect to you. It has to be true to you. When I said it has to be natural and true to you, right? You cannot be, as a light skin, you cannot be creating content for girls, for dark skin girls. No, as a light singer, you cannot be creating content for white girls. Not possible. You have to create content for yourself. And now, if you're not like those kind of crazy girls with like crazy eyeshadow, you don't know how to do all those things. If you're creating this kind of content, it's going to show you that you don't know how to do it. It's going to be very obvious that you can't do it. And you don't want that. You want to do it. That's something that actually is, that comes natural to you. So she creates content that says light skin girl, natural makeup for breakup. Light skin girl, natural. And then in her video, she defends why she believes that we should go natural go with a natural makeup to go and break up with your boyfriend. She defends it with sense. And then why she's showing you the tutorial? And let me know, tell me if you're not going to get connected to something like this. I already know a lot of creators already are watching this video currently that are going to be connected to it. Because it is something that many of us, I'll be connected to it, because sometimes I don't want to have a lot of makeup on my face and I want to go to church and I'm struggling with finding my own makeup style. This will help me. This will 100% help me, right? So it is the familiar thread that makes people say, I knew this was yours before I even saw your handle. I don't want to give too much example. You already get it. You already get it. You get it. I believe you get it. So let's move on to the next thing, right? The reminder, like I said, this topic is very, very expensive, and it can make, if I did have this, guide, I would just keep going on and on because it's so deep and there's so much inside it, which we're going to really dissect next week, and we're going to break it down next week so that you cannot say that you don't know, you will know, right? So a reminder is that your style is not just an aesthetic, right? It is the energy that you bring, right? When you post any content, because like I said earlier, right? Your last 6 posts should be able to tell somebody what you are all about. So your style is going to reflect on all that 6 posts. It's very important to reflect on all that 6 posts, right? So if you strip away your filters, your transitions, your template, does your voice still carry, right? And next we're going to talk about what voice actually is. Voice doesn't necessarily always mean verbally. It can mean visually. For example, you know that Erigugwa and Kegan Tech, they're always having talking head videos all the time. They're always having talking head videos every single time. But even though they even have almost very similar tone in terms of the way they set up the setup is very, very simple, but you will know the difference, because that's where the voice comes, and that's the goal, so that someone can say, oh, Eriguga creates content on advices, but Eriguga, this one, even though it's tech, but it's different from you can be able to dissect the actual difference in between the two of them. Another creator you can do that is with Amy and Francis Theodore, or even Francis Theodore and Chris Steph. You can tell it's very clear. The difference is very, very clear. But it's only clear when you know this, right? You not sit down and start breaking them. You not start putting them side by side. You see the plenty differences that actually comes in there. And that is, your content style. The next one, next section is bridging your content to your vision. This is the last section. And I'm going to take my time on this one. Bridging your content to your vision, right? So, last week we talked about the creative gap, recognizing that there's a creative gap. That sometimes you might actually be stuck in that creative gap. Now, we are now going to actually start taking the steps of bridging that creative gap. That's making your content become that vision that you had in your mind to produce. So, if your content is the road, right, your vision is the destination. The creator that's creating content for fashion girlies that tick, right? Our content has different forms, right? Where she creates inspired by different things, create for different reasons and all of those things. She has different inspiration. But at the end of the day, the destination, her vision is that she's creating fashion content for what? Tick girls. That's the vision. That's the destination. So your post should not just entertain or inform people. They should lead somewhere, right? They should have a destination. They should lead somewhere. It should not just be open like, oh, I'm just posting. Because a lot of creators, when they just don't have it, they just create content just because people are saying, post anything, post content. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I'm sorry for the laugh. It's not a bad thing, but sometimes it can be misleading, right? You know how you can tell somebody the truth, right? But it might not be what they need to save themselves, right? It might just be the truth for now, but there are still certain things that's actually holding them back, right? So post anything is not a bad thing, but posting anything that leads to nowhere It's very bad. That's why you're like, oh, why is it that when I post my content, it's not doing, nothing's happening? Why is it that after I post, I've worked so hard every time it gets 200 views? If as a content creator, you should be able to know why your video did 1,000 views and 2,000 views. Because if you don't know why it doesn't, that means you're just posting anything. You're just posting just because. All right. So your content should actually lead somewhere. And if somebody engage with your content consistently, where should they end up? Right? For example, the lady that's creating content for makeup, regardless of the styling that she uses, whether she's using harsh language or not harsh language, or she's very calm, whatever, at the end of the day, you're going to learn one or two things. Either about like being a light skin girl, the struggles of being a light skin girl, or you're going to learn makeup content or makeup tutorial, how you can do certain things for your makeup. That is for sure what's going to happen. That's what is going to happen to them, right? So your content should inspire the public, right? And I really wanted to really talk about audience today, but after our meeting on Friday, I was like, no, we need to talk about this. This is more important. Bridging that car is more important. So let's see that is now. I'm starting to say it now. Let's not call audience. They are the general public. All right, they're the general public, right? So your content should inspire the general public to take an action, right? It should make them to buy an offer, buy your book, buy whatever you want them to buy. If you are selling your page for them to follow you, it should make them to want to follow you. All right. It should make them rethink their mindsets. If you're showing them, advice or whatever, it should make them to want to rethink their mindset. It should make them feel seen, right? These are the things that you should. These are the question that you should ask yourself. Is my content inspiring people? Is my content making people to buy something from me? Is my content making them to rethink their mindset? Is my content making them to feel like, what is my content actually leading people to do? What's the destination that is taking them, right? That clarity helps you stop creating content for the algorithm, because a lot of creators are doing that. They're creating content for algorithm. They're like, oh, people are doing get ready with me videos for church and it's going viral. And they're like, okay, let me hop on that trend. I create one get ready with me video for church. And it does not do well because it's not your content. It's not your content style. It's not a signature, and it's out of touch, right? It's out of touch. And then you get stuck. You're trying to please the algorithm. That's when you now get frustrated and now ask TikTok, come on TikTok and post on TikTok and say, TikTok, you hate me so much. Why do you hate me so much? And you think TikTok is going to change their mind. It's not going to happen. All right? It's not going to happen. Right? So you start creating with intention. See, the only way, let me even go back to this before people take it out of context. The only way that you can post something like that and that thing can go viral is if and only if every single time you post content, you are bashing TikTok. That's the only way that thing can go to the place you want it to go. Because, like I said, it has to have repetition and consistency. Do you see how all of these things work? It is not really rocket science. It's just the truth, right? So if you want to post a content and say, oh, TikTok hate me, the algorithm doesn't like me, the algorithm is my enemy, like make sure that's not your only post. Make sure that you are posting it every time. Like your last 6 posts should be about TikTok hating you. Make sure it's about it. Because if not, have you not seen people that they have like one viral post, the rest of their content is like 200 views? So you don't want that to be you. Trust me, it's never good. As a brand manager, if I say a content creator that have that, I wouldn't. And a question I want you to answer by yourself, just in your mind, would you rather have 1 million viewed content per month, or have 10,000 viewed content every single time you post? Choose one. 1 million views per one post for every single month. They give you 1 million views every single month, and the rest of your views are 200 or 1,000. Or you rather have 10K views per video. After that question, and let's continue. So you start with intentionality. Everything has intentionality. So what are the steps to actually take to bridging that content, your content as it is right now, to the vision that you want for yourself? Because with everything that I've been said now, you should already know the kind of creator that you want to be, because we have reflected on our clarity and our consistency and our confidence. So you already know the kind of creator you want to be. You already know the kind of tones you want to have. You already know the kind of, what's your own vision, who you are as a person, how you want to reflect yourself as a person. You already know all of this. I even know the style at which you want to approach this content creation thing as a thing, right? You already know. Now, let's take the step to actually taking this content that you have at the moment to where you want it to be. The first step, look back. Look back to your old contents, right? All your old patterns, they hold ideas, cues to your new strategy. They tell you what you should do better or what you have been doing bad and you should start doing better, right? Because before you build forward, you have to pause and you have to reflect. I'll take myself as an example, right? When I wanted to start this, right, I told myself that I look back at my old content, like, okay, my old contents are all about being a bad girl, me being a cannot tell that I'm working so hard to get my money. Like, I want you to be like, Nepo baby. I want you to believe that. I want that to be your belief, right? Right? And I was like, oh, that's not what I want anymore. I mean, not in the way I wanted it. And then I was like, okay, so now, what do I now want? And how do I now want to be perceived, right? Which is why we're doing this. I'm like, okay, yes, I want to actually help creators become what they want to be, because this is what I do for work. But also, I still want them to know I'm a bad girl. So I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to mix it and find the balance, right? So you have to pause and you have to reflect on your past work. From week 1, we talked about what you're missing. A lot of you guys said that you're missing consistency. A lot of you say you're missing content ideas. But if you know that you are a creator and you are just starting, like, you know that my own strength is that I'm a creator and I have no idea what to post as a creator. I don't know how to start my journey. That is a content idea. So you now break it down into different things. I'm a creator, I don't know where to start, but I'm also a student. I'm a creator, I don't know where to start, but I'm broke. I'm a creator, I don't know where to start. I'm a fine girl. I'm a creator, I don't know where to start, but I kind of like to do makeup, but I've never figured it out. Do you see how you can create content under just the fact that you're confused, right? So, next week we're gonna really hammer it on so that you start getting a lot of ideas from that. So you have to see what was lacking in your last content. Was it clarity? Was it consistency? Was it a clear message? Like, from everything we have said so far, you should be able to dissect now and know that, oh, what I was lacking was this, and this, right? Or maybe the transformation your general public, by what your audience, maybe the transformation the general public needs was not coming through. I know a creator that said that what she wanted to do was to help small businesses to become better. And in her content, not a bash to her, but in her content, what she kept on doing was telling us 5 steps to know your business is drowning. 5 steps to know when to sack your client. 5 steps to, there was no connection. And when she started it, you were like, oh, it's not really gaining traction. I'm like, continue posting your 5 steps. Continue, like, even as much as maybe that's your angle. It's an angle, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's not the best angle for sure. But it's an angle. And I said, just continue posting 5 steps. Continue posting 5 steps. Continue posting 5 steps. But you have to also get to a point where you have to now dissect that 5 steps. How to dissect? When you dissect it, you never will lose what to post, right? So when I told her that, she was like, oh, really? I can dissect it, because I kind of like stopped posting that. I was like, okay, so what you started posting? She's like, oh, she started posting makeup tutorial because in her FYP, she started seeing a lot of that. I believe you guys now will be able to give her a good, advice, because based on, if you are following me, you know the advice to give her, right? I've already given the answer, but yeah, you already know that. You can say that she's already following the very, very famous method that a lot of creators always follow. Because it's not working, I am going to stop it and try something completely different from what I wanted to do before. I was like, so why didn't you just focus on, okay, now you're doing makeup content, that's doing, that's not doing well. I'm like, can you do makeup very well? I said, no. I said, so you can't do makeup very well. But you can still use the fact that you can't do makeup very well and still help people that are having small women, small business owners to still learn things. You can integrate it together, right? You can still integrate it together. It's still nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna kill you for that, and you are still gonna get that wow factor and all of that. Again, I'm going back to the cortisol, but yeah, that is it. So look back at your old patterns because they hold cues. Now, how do you use this to ground yourself? I gave some few words. Like I said, this class is very, very hands-on. So you need to it will be great if you try to answer all of these questions, all of these reflections throughout this class. It will be great for you to reflect them because that will help you your sprints, really. Right? These sprints is like when you are finished reflecting all of the reflection. Now tell us, do it. Let us see. So use this to ground yourself. The first thing is, what is the one message I wish people got from my page, but probably don't get at the moment? For that lady that wanted to help small businesses, the thing was that she was trying to get people to, learn tips of how to be a better small business owner, but they were not getting that because she was more focused on the views, the likes, the comments. People were not really commenting on this because they didn't really get connection from it. So that is one. Two, when I scroll through my own content, what's the gap that I feel? A lot of you guys should be honest with yourself, right? I need you to be very honest with yourself when you're answering these questions, right? Scroll through your own content and tell me what gap that you feel, right? This is not a sprint question. This is not part of our assignment. Just a self-reflection for you. The third question is, what do I keep saying I want to create, but I never follow through? For me, it is this kind of content. I've always said it. I wanted to create this kind of content. I'm going to create this kind of content. I'm going to create this kind of content. But oh, do I mix it with my makeup? I'm like, I don't think I can do makeup and do that. I tried and it did not work. So I'm like, oh, what do I do? So know that content that you really want, that you have passion for creating, but you just can't create because of certain things. Write it out. Use it to ground yourself. Use it to reflect on your past work. Did you even try or attempt to do it before? Or did you just give up on it? Here's a reminder, right? This isn't about overthinking or judging your past work, right? I'm not saying that all you have done all this while is a waste or is nonsense. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that look at them with a critical eyes and be honest with yourself. With everything that has been said, be honest with yourself. So that your future content will thank you. Right? So your future content will be so good, it will be great. Right? So look at everything and be like, okay, is this aligning with the bigger vision for myself? Is this aligning with what I want for myself? Is this the way I want to truly be seen and perceived? Is this valid for me? Right? So that you can start making the changes that will make your content to start reflecting all of this. The step 2 is ask yourself, right? Ask yourself a lot of questions, right? Again, it's still very much piggybacking of what's looking back. But looking back, the first one was more of you looking at it and really seeing what you have done before. And now the next thing is to answer, because you are the creator. And like I said again, creation, being a creator is like being God. Like you are the one creating what you want people to know. Like you are the one deciding it. Nobody is asking you to do it. This is why you should never ever say you're following trend. I mean, you can follow the trend in a way that still comes back to you. There's nothing wrong with that. But look back, answer yourself these questions. Right? Answer yourself certain questions. If your content is the journey, is it taking people to the right place? Is it? I wanted to be a bad girl on Instagram. And I look at my content one day, I was like, is my content really showing I'm a bad girl? And my answer to myself was no. It wasn't even reflecting bad girl in any way. I wasn't a bad girl on Instagram. I was just a girl. And I didn't want to just be a girl. I want to be a bad girl. That's what I want. So I asked myself that question. I looked at my last content, my last post and my video, and I was like, I'm not a bad girl. I'm not a bad girl. Like I see other bad girls and like I just did learn work. I'm still learning work. So ask yourself those questions. The second thing, you can use these questions to, check yourself, which is, am I just getting up? Am I just posting to keep up, or am I guiding people somewhere? And that's the problem with people that keep saying that my problem is consistency, my problem is consistency, my problem is consistency. The problem is not consistency. Because if you already have a content style, you already know what you want to, you already know that me as I am like this, so I want to be posting content for, based on my life. That's me trying to be navigating my life as a student and as a creator. You can never run out of content ideas because it is your life. It's happening to you in real time and you are sharing it in real time, right? And that's why you can never ever run out of ideas. So it's not really about posting every single day and posting for the sake of posting. Because if you've ever done that stage challenge, if you've ever attempted to do it, you will know that by day 5, day 6, day 8, 10, before you even reach day 15, you're already making content that you're just like, let me just create content. I just post myself, let me just create content. I've already posted the content, let me just create the content. I just post it. Nobody is paying you to pay. Nobody's going to pay you to post content because of that. Like, nobody's going to pay you. Nobody's paying you even at the moment. So, it's not need to be posting content because you need to post the content. Be intentional about it. Intentional about your consistency. The second one is, does my content reflect where I'm going to or where are they stuck? That's what happens to creators are always saying, TikTok hates me. TikTok algorithm is just the worst thing that ever happened to a creator. Guys, I need you guys to go and boost. You are stuck. And that's why you're creating those kind of content. So your content should not reflect where you are stuck at. Your content should reflect where you're going to, right? Where you're going to, the creator journey. Instead of saying TikTok doesn't love me, I'm trying to navigate being a TikTok creator. Or I'm trying to navigate being an Instagram creator. I'm trying to navigate being a bad girl, right? Those are, content that reflect that you are going somewhere. And people will follow you. Because believe you me, there are people that are trying to go on that same journey. The general public, there's somebody said the general public that wants to also be a creator. I have no idea. There's somebody that's doing well on Instagram but doesn't know how to do well on TikTok and want to follow you too. Right? So your content should reflect where you're going to, not where you are stuck at. So, and yes, you are very, very allowed to evolve. I've been saying it a lot about evolving as a creator. It will happen and you are allowed to do that. The third question is, can a first-time viewer tell what I stand for and how I help them? Right? Now, I want to also say this in the same breath that your content should not always be about helping people. Right? Immediately, right, we will think that creating content is about coming to come and give people tips, advice, guide them, show them. Sometimes your content is just really about to inspire. Sometimes your content is just to post for yourself. Right? When I said I wanted to be a bad girl, what I meant was I wanted to come online and post pictures of myself or videos of myself with like very nice cunty music. And if I do that, it's going to work. I will gain a following. I will. But sometimes it's not about helping people. It's just about you doing what makes you feel good and happy. Because at the end of the day, you're the creator. So if you get tired of creating what you love to do, they will starve. The general public will starve. Or they will find another person. So it's more about what you want than really helping other people. But if you want to help people, right? And let me tell you, helping people doesn't mean that you're helping them move from point A to point B. It could just be you're just entertaining them. Like all these kit makers are doing. Really, their content does not really do anything for you. It just really relieves you and entertain you. Unless it doesn't help. Right? So your content doesn't necessarily have to be giving people advice, tips, direction, everything. It doesn't always have to be that. You can just find the one that works for you and just do it. But all of it join. It is helping general public, right? If your content feels random to you, it will very, very much feel random to a lot of other people, right? A lot of creators are facing this, where today they posted a vlog of themselves at a hangout. Tomorrow they are posting, their accreditation to NYC. Next tomorrow they are posting this. It is very random. Like, okay. So what do you really do? What's really going on? I mean, I get it. You post vlogs, which is exciting, but why should I watch your own vlog? Like, my life is happening. Why should I be focusing on your own vlog? Because tomorrow I'm not going to continue posting another vlog. Right? So your content should not feel very should not feel random. It should be very, very. That's why I said that pattern thing is very important to have a creative pattern. So moving on to the next step, which is mapping the reach. Like we said, today we are going to talk about, getting our bricks, our molds, our water, everything, or the kind of bridge we want to start bridging, because, we already know that there's a hole, there's a gap there. You know that there's a gap, but now it's time for us to now map that gap, and that's the last step when it comes to reaching your content to your vision, mapping the gap. Now here, you connect the dots between your content and the bigger purpose, right? I believe when Mavela started her content creation journey, her bigger purpose was for her to be an influencer and for her to build her own business. And the business that she had in her mind was a makeup brand, like it was a makeup brand where she launched her lip liner and lip glosses, right? So what she did was very, very beautiful. Like the way she did it, because she wanted to be an influencer, and she also wanted to be a business owner. If you scroll down to Mavela's content in from 2020 or 2022, if you scroll down to her content, you're going to see how she has been actively building it. At the point, you know that Mavela was a makeup girly, like she was giving the best makeup advice and tips, like her makeup tutorials went viral multiple times, right? At that point, you see that she was really building her brand as an influencer, right? She was really building how being a wig influencer, how you can be a wig influencer, how you can start your influencer journey, in Dallas where she was, right? She was really building that. And then at the point, she now started talking about her makeup brand. And now you can trust her makeup brand because she has already built a following and a reputation of being the best person to give you makeup tips, because she knows how to do makeup. So if she tells you that I made a makeup product that will help you do this, you'll believe her. So your content, you should connect the dots between your content and the bigger purpose. Now, because if your content is the road, your mission is the destination. And right now, we're building the bridge between them, right? We're building the bridge between the contents you have right now, the content you're creating right now, and the mission that you want to have. So let's take, for example, the creators have been using earlier, the makeup girly, right? Right now, her content is all about her being a natural girly and all of those things, because her mission and where she is going to, her destination, is for her to start getting, brand deals from brands that really like clean girl makeup girlies, right? And she also wants to become an influencer, influencing people to actually buy makeup product, be a makeup influencer or a beauty influencer. You can see that already from the kind of content that she's already talking about. You can already see that skincare brands want to work with her, makeup brands want to work with her, even fashion brands want to work with her, because she creates content for date night, all of those things. So they want to work with her. She also can get collaboration from different things, from events, because now she can do how to make up for her talk, so a place, or how to meet a celebrity. Like, there's so many ways that brands can work with her, because why? She has a pattern. But no, something like that cannot work with certain kind of other brands, because she cannot. What is her business with tech brand? I said there's a way she can go about it. No, that's not undeniable, right? But it's not going to be her primary focus. Tech brands might not necessarily reach out to her all the time, but they might reach out to, maybe they want to do extensions or amplification across all boards, right? She's also going to be there for that. But you can see that the array of brands that can work with her is so wide and so broad. Just from being a girl that actually creates makeup content for light-skinned girls. That's it. Right? So this part isn't about overthinking. It's about finding clarity. Right? So don't go and think, oh yeah, I want to become a biggest influencer. I want to build 10 businesses. Just find the clarity. You want to be a successful person that is an influencer that can influence people and use your platform to build your business. Simple as that. Simple. Full stop. All these other extra things like, oh, I also want to be able to work with 10 brands in a month, in a year. If an influencer, you work with 100 brands, these brands will be looking for how to work with you, right? So, and I'm breaking down into these 4 ways, right? Your elements and how the question you should answer yourself. The first thing is the message, right? What do you want to say with your content, right? Like, what do you want to say with your content? And how do you what do you want to keep circling back to? What do you want your content to continue to circle back to, right? The message, the key message. What are the things you want to say in your content? I've said that so many times. Then the next one, this next element is your format. What kind of content do you love making? A lot, right? We're going to come back to this content styling next week. But yeah, I'm going to just show you a little bit of like the essence of content format, right? There are different types of content format. There's the reels, there's the videos like you guys already know, there's the memes, there's like the quotes, there's like the carousels. They're all, even voice recording. There are all types of content. So what content do you already love making? What already makes you feel comfortable? Because, and see, video content is the most easiest content style ever. It is very easy. It's easy to do. It's easy to replicate. It's easy to continue to sustain. It is so easy. It's extremely and incredibly easy to do video content, right? So, which is why most of the time I was like, oh, create a video, post a video, because it's very easy. It's not so hard, right? So, but if you're not comfortable with creating videos, you're not comfortable with writing articles, right? That is what you love to. That's the kind of content. That's the content style. That's the content format. That's the kind of content you like to do. So you have to identify what is your content formats. What content format do you already enjoy doing? Next is the style. What kind of vibe do people get from your content, right? And this really reflects your personality. Are you a playful person? Are you a calm person? Me, I feel like I am a very playful person and also very, intense. It's at the same time, right? So that is the vibe I'm bringing to that's my whole content style. So I put that together, and I also like to have like a little bit of a touch of professionalism, right? Just because, right? Just a touch of professionalism. You will not see it now. You see it soon. But yes, that is the style. That is your style. Because if content was a friend, if your content was a friend, like how would they talk, right? And this is just like saying, this is just when your content is to be separated or just an angle of who you are, a reflection of who you are. Because this particular content I'm creating right now is just a reflection of who I am. Deep down, I'm a bad girl. I'm a bad bitch. I'm a baddie, right? I'm a bad bitch. I'm a baddie. So deep down, I'm a baddie. But a part of my baddiness is to help people. Like help creators too. So, right. So for me, like this content creator, this content style that I've picked for this particular types of content, right? They are more educative, they're more playful, they're more insightful, they're more, inspiring, hopefully, right? That is my own style for this type of content. And so that's what you also have to also highlight, because we're mapping the bridge now. I'm like, okay, now we know that we want to talk about makeup content. Now we know that we want to use videos to talking about our makeup content, natural makeup content. They also know that we want to be calm, want to be playful, want to be bold, want to be raw. All right. Now the call to action, what's the next step? All right. What's the next step that you want people to take after seeing your post, right? So it should never be to like you or your page, follow you, or they're not really saying it, right? You're never gonna say, come on, like my post, come and follow me, come on, comment. No. Your content should do all the talking. If you do a content and say, getting me to create a makeup look for light skin girls that want to break up with her boyfriend. What do you think that people are going to comment in a lot? People are going to be commenting things like, oh, what about makeup for when he's, makeup for when he wants to get back together with you. Makeup for when you want a first date. Give us makeup ideas for this. Those things that people are going to be asking. And your content was trying to generate what? More ideas for you to create. Or your content was trying to generate more engagement on your post. That's what you were trying to generate. That was your call to actions. So when you make it clear like that, it still comes back into your pattern. You see how everything kind of like goes back again and works for you. And yeah, so What is the step you want people to take after seeing your content? Do you want them to join your community? Do you want them to now love you? Do you want them to see you as someone that knows what they're saying? Those are the things. So the reminder here is that the goal is not to box yourself in, right? The goal is to make sure that your content has a direction, right? Because in this, what I said, that you are creating content for natural light skin girl doesn't necessarily mean that you can never, since you are creating makeup content for natural girls that are natural, that light skin, and it's like natural makeup style, right? Doesn't mean that you cannot create any other thing that is outside makeup. It could still be, there's a certain pattern that will still continue to remain, that will still continue to stay, because that is your own content, and that is what you are known for, right? So it will just have a direction as where you are going to, where you are leading to, where you are heading to, right? So the next time when you're posting, you're not just throwing up something, you are actually leading people to somewhere, and that is the goal. We always want people to always go somewhere with you. So this brings us to the end of this class. This is about 1 minute and 30 seconds, 1 hour. Wow, 1 hour, 25 minutes. I shouldn't say that because the timestamp might be different, but regardless, I've said it. This is our week 2 sprints. So I want to really encourage you guys to really do this. Like I said, the sprints are always going to get harder. They are going to continue getting harder from now on. They're not going to get easier. They're going to get harder, right? So for our sprint for this week, it's for you to choose one of your major content pillars, right? When you have looked at everything that you are good at, you're clear about the kind of message you want to bring out. You know who you are. You know what you want to say. You know how you want to say what you want to say. Right? Pick a pillar. I want to help small businesses become better with their law. I want to be a fashion boy that is also kind of interested in arts, right? I want to, this is your content pillar. Select what your content pillar is going to be. You can have multiple content pillars. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But select one content pillar. Then you now rewrite a sample of your bio and your intro post to reflect that, right? So, you know, a lot of people always have that video where they're like, so guys, today I want to talk about what I want to be doing so far. I'm going to start a series. I do not recommend people to do that, but for the sake of this print, I need to see it because we're going to build up on that particular one. Sorry, excuse me. So, yeah, make an intro post, right? Make a video, an intro post of, of this new content pillar that you are trying to develop on. Make it something that that has a proper direction, that can easily be, you can actually easily create a recognizable pattern from it, right? The next thing is to design a simple content reading, right? A content reading is kind of also what I like to call a content guide or content plan, right? If you were really paying attention in the beginning, you mentioned something about reading, about actually finding your reading, actually about finding your system. And I've said so many times about the makeup girly that's creating content for light skin girls, right? So design a very simple content reading. I think you should have at least 5 contents, right? So that you know that it's not hard to actually come up with content, I guess. Once you already know what your content pillar is going to be. And then next is for you to create one signature piece of content, video, still, whatever that refines this your new voice and new pillar. So what you're supposed to submit at the end of the day is about four things. The first one is going to be, a document where you write your new bio and you actually tell us the content pillar you have actually picked and then the bio that's going to follow that particular content pillar. Then you now make a video to reflect, this content pillar that you have selected, and you're telling us why you are starting this content. You're not telling us in the video as well, because some of you will use ChatGPT to get the content pillar. But to also, okay, there's nothing wrong with using ChatGPT, but just so that you can still come back and defend yourself, right? With the video to also explain to us why you are choosing that particular content pillar and how you intend to reflect it. Then you come up with your content reading, write out your content reading, all the things you're going to how your content reading is going to flow, the direction is going to take, different types of content, how you're going to break it down, right? You can make it simple because it's very simple, very, very simple. Then the last one is your signature content. So you have another video. Here we have 2 videos and 2 documents, right? The sprints link to submit your assignments is going to be sent in on Saturday. So you can do your assignment ahead of time. Once it is ready, it's going to be sent in on Saturday for you to now submit. With that, if you have any questions, please write down your questions. You can ask the community manager you can send your questions to the community manager and it will be answered on Friday, or you can wait till Friday to answer your questions in person as well. With that, see you in the next class. Thank you. Bye.